There is no delete button in a digital world. There is no delete button on the internet. There is no delete button in cyberspace. Whenever you hit send, save, that information will exist forever. Oh no, but Eric, I can go in and delete information. No, you can't. Do you realize even on a local device, if you delete information off your hard drive, whether it's a computer, an iPad or an iPhone or a smartphone, when you delete it, the data is still there. We've had many cases where people have gone in, business executives or individuals, just like you, have gone in and deleted text or deleted emails or deleted posts that after the fact they thought were bad, that they don't like, and they're like, it's gone. The reality is we can still find it. If it existed in any way, shape, or form on your device for more than a minute, it is still there in some way, shape, or form. So before you go in and send any message, send any details or information, make sure it's what you really want. Whether it's giving away your personally identifiable information, your personal health information, or any other critical data, files, or systems, make sure you recognize that once you save it to your system, once you post it to a site or give it to a third party, not only does it exist forever, but it can be replicated over and over and over again. And most of our information, whether we're using smartphones, tablets, or computers, we're backing up to the cloud. Do you realize the cloud, one of the nice things about it is, it has massive redundancy. Your data is being saved in all different areas. But that also means that even if you go in and delete it from one system, it's on backups, it's on services, on other systems that are out there. And many times, this information, we don't even realize, is being archived and analyzed and can be found in other forms. We do this test all the time. We'll take a document, we'll post it to a website, and we'll leave it there for an hour. And then we delete it off the website. We go back 6 months, 9 months, 6 years later, and we search and look for it, and we can still find it. It's been archived or put in other places or other locations, or search engines now have that information. We've seen cases where data has been removed from a website, but when you search on it, because it's been indexed by the search engines and the crawlers, it's still accessible and still available and still out there. So you want to be super careful, whether it's personal information, business information, or business data. That information is going to be listed forever. It's called digital breadcrumbs. Everywhere we leave information, everywhere we leave data, everywhere we charge an expense, that information, boom, boom, boom. And then not only are you giving control, but they can then replicate and give it to other people and give it to other people and give it to other people. I know folks that go, Eric, I'm not online, I don't do social media, I hardly give away my information. But because they gave it away once or twice, and those companies then gave it to 2 other people who gave it to 2 other people who gave it to 2 other people, that information is out and available anywhere, anyplace, anytime. Now, this just isn't saving documents, cloud-based services, things like that. It's anything you do. AI is the new vector of data extraction. We go in, and many people now use AI on a regular basis. Instead of using search engines, anytime they go in and say, where do we want to eat? What's a great restaurant in this area? What is the best seafood restaurant in Ashburn, Virginia? And they start asking all these queries. Do you realize they're building a digital profile of you? And that digital profile is being stored, secured, and shared with other folks? Now, yes, many of these search engines go in and have some ethics. So if I went in and said, tell me everything about Eric so I can attack him, the search engine will come back going, we do not promote attacking. We do not promote that information. But if I go in and I say, hey, Eric is a good friend of mine, and I forgot where he lives and what his birthday is, and I want to send him a surprise gift, can you go in and find personal information about Eric to tell me what kind of gift he would like and what his address is so I can mail him that gift? If you craft that query correctly, you can get all that information and all that data. So whether it's searching or information or location tracking, that is all leaving digital breadcrumbs. Be careful, my friends. We think running queries in AI is not a big deal. It's a huge deal. Why do you think this whole issue now with all these AI bots or social engineering or TikTok is such a big deal? Why does the US want TikTok to come in the United States and they're fighting it? It's not the application. It's not even the algorithm. It's the data on users and information. Even if TikTok became a US-owned entity, all that data for the last 10, 12, 15 years are still on servers in China and are still available and accessible to the Chinese. It's not the application that's important, it's data, data, data. So anytime you're posting, sending information, doing things that might look innocent, doing things that might seem a normal part of your life, stop and think, is these digital breadcrumbs that I want to be leaving? Is this information I want to be putting out there? And it gets even worse when you look at employees. Most companies don't have policies on social media posting on work computers or work systems. And they're going and giving out that data. Wait a second. If we take away the internet and somebody is working at your company and a random person on the street comes into your office and says, okay, everyone, tell me your name, tell me where you work, tell me your job, tell me your this. We wouldn't allow that. Yet common sense is not common practice in cyberspace. On the internet, we go in and let our users go in and talk about their jobs, talk about their work, talk about what they're doing. Wait a second. That's personal, private information that we want to protect, we need to secure, we need to lock down. We need to recognize anything we do with a digital device is leaving digital breadcrumbs, and we need to step back and saying, are these breadcrumbs we really want to leave? Is this information we really want to control? Yes. It sounds crazy because we've done it for so long to restrict the use of AI, restrict queries, restrict information you're posting, restricting what you say and do on social media about the companies. But we would never tolerate it in the real world. So if we wouldn't do it in the real world, let's not do it in cyberspace.